Welcome back to Channel Name. Today we're covering a critical development in the war between Russia and Ukraine. In the past few weeks, Russia has intensified its attacks, focusing not just on the front lines, but on something even more vital: Ukraine's supply depots, hidden warehouses, and stockpiles of weapons and ammunition. These relentless strikes are turning key Ukrainian lifelines into blazing ruins, raising serious questions about the country's ability to keep its war effort alive. Traditionally, Russia's military has relied on artillery and large-scale offensives. But in recent months, their strategy has shifted. Instead of trying to win ground through sheer manpower, Moscow is now targeting Ukraine's logistics, the hidden backbone of its defense. Using drones, missiles, and long-range artillery, Russia has struck warehouses, fuel storage sites, and hidden bunkers. Eyewitnesses describe massive fireballs that light up the night sky, with explosions so powerful they can be seen for miles. Russian state media proudly broadcast these scenes, framing them as evidence that Ukraine's military is being slowly suffocated. To understand the impact, we need to talk about logistics. Every soldier at the front depends on a steady flow of ammunition, food, fuel, and medical supplies. If those supply lines break down, even the best trained army collapses. Experts say Ukraine uses tens of thousands of artillery shells and rockets every single week. That means massive stockpiles are constantly being moved and hidden. But now, those depots are under direct fire. Each successful strike doesn't just destroy weapons, it undermines morale, leaving soldiers uncertain about whether reinforcements will arrive. Ukraine has invested heavily in air defense. Systems like the American Patriot, the German IRST, and the French Crotal have been deployed to protect key cities and infrastructure. These defenses have saved countless lives. But here's the challenge: Ukraine is a vast country. Depots and warehouses are scattered across fields, towns, and hidden locations. Protecting every single one is nearly impossible. Russia exploits this by launching swarms of drones to exhaust Ukraine's defenses. Once expensive interceptor missiles are used up, heavier rockets and cruise missiles follow. This cat-and-mouse game drains Ukraine's resources and highlights the imbalance between low-cost drones and costly defensive systems. Despite the losses, Ukraine is adapting. Military officials have begun dispersing stockpiles into smaller hidden caches. Instead of relying on massive warehouses, they are creating underground bunkers and concealed depots in forests or abandoned industrial areas. Supply convoys now travel mainly at night, hoping to avoid detection by Russian drones. Soldiers have also become more creative, using camouflage nets, decoys, and even inflatable fake depots to confuse Russian intelligence. But no matter how resourceful Ukraine becomes, the remains. Every time a missile finds its target, the cost is felt across the front lines. Russia's campaign of strikes is possible because its military stockpiles appear to be growing again. Western intelligence reports suggest that Russia has received drones from Iran, artillery shells from North Korea, and is increasing its own domestic production of missiles and UAVs. Factories inside Russia are working overtime, turning out new weapons at a faster pace. The Kremlin's message is clear: they are preparing for a long war of attrition, and targeting Ukraine's logistics is a central part of that plan. For Ukraine's survival may depend on international support. Western allies face a tough decision. It's not just about sending more weapons, it's about sending the right kind of technology: counter-drone systems, radar jammers, and affordable air defenses that can stop Russia's relentless strikes without draining Ukraine's limited resources. Meanwhile, Russia is using these attacks to send a message beyond the battlefield that it can adapt, escalate, and keep pressure on Ukraine despite sanctions and setbacks. The psychological effect is as important as the physical destruction. So where does this leave Ukraine? Can underground depots and dispersed caches protect its lifelines? Or will Russia's deep strike campaign eventually starve the Ukrainian war machine of the supplies it needs to fight? One thing is certain: the war is no longer just about tanks, trenches, or soldiers. It's about the silent lifelines, the stockpiles, the depots, and the fragile supply chains that determine whether armies can endure. As the conflict drags on, the outcome may hinge not on who has more troops, but on who can protect their lifelines in this deadly war of logistics. This has been Channel Name. Stay tuned for more breaking updates, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss the next report.